How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl live stream Friday. How you doing over there, Swine? How's your week, man?
Doing damn good, man. Long one as usual, but it's Arizona winter, dude. So absolutely beautiful, man. It's the best time to be out here slaving.
Yep, it's fucking cold today, man. I was in that goddamn rain all day, pretty much. It's
Me
fucking my
too.
jacket was soaked, dude. I guess the AC in my truck or the heater in my truck doesn't blow hot air for some reason. I gotta
Oh
get
hell
that thing
no.
checked. Yeah, it was a rough day, but enjoyable still. I mean, the one thing you learn from living in Arizona your whole life is that you never adapt to the heat. You just learn to appreciate the cold, right?
Pretty much, dude. Pretty much.
Yeah. But shit. So thank you guys for stopping by, man. We do have a couple of news stories for you. Gonna be catching up the week as per usual. Yeah, every Friday we stop by here, hang out, we smoke some herbs. Talk about the latest and yeah, I guess if you want to call it greatest happenings within the world today, and basically just try to make sense of everything. Not necessarily as that's not really possible, but we tell it to you like we see it, right? So today we got Elon Musk basically telling the advertising, I guess I don't know, fucking the ESG fucking mafia to go fuck themselves. Not basically, literally, right? We also got George Santos getting expelled from Congress. We got several new people, not necessarily endorsing Trump, but basically saying that oh pig dick's on the table, right? Uh, Fucking pig dick 2024, y'all.
Right.
Right. Let's see, we got Dick Durbin, the one of the heads of shit, I forget which Senate committee it is, but basically blocking Senator Blackburn's subpoena to basically get the Epstein flight logs released. So we're going to be talking about that. We got
I wonder if he's
Derek. Right, go ahead.
I wonder if he's on there.
Right. But we got the attacker of Derek Chauvin. We talked about that one last week. The attacker of Derek Chauvin, of course, he's stabbed in prison. Derek Chauvin, of course, the officer that was charged and convicted in the while in custody death of George Floyd, the patron saint of the left. So apparently some new information has come out on who his attacker is, and it turns out that this guy is connected to none other than the FBI. All right. And then we're also going to be talking about the immigrant crisis and basically the detriment that it's bringing to America. We're basically going to be we're in an unprecedented level of basically people that aren't American citizens that basically were not raised the American way are now making up a significant part of our population, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. We'll start off with the old Elon's Musk clip, the not so advertiser friendly message.
Hi, Bob.
see how Earth responds to that.
I don't think he's abiding community standards, bro.
Right? Right? I don't know, man. Fucking, it's not necessarily family friendlies, man. It's definitely anti-Semitism to say the least. At the very least,
Right.
it's anti-Semitism.
Dude's got everything to lose. He's saying, fuck you. I got nothing to lose. Fuck you, Bob
Right,
Iger.
right. Yep. If you ever wondered what the definition of "fuck you" money is, no better example than this right here. Right?
Yep,
That's
you're looking.
quite right. Quite literally, "fuck you" money. Right? In reality, honestly, obviously, it's companies need advertisers and stuff like that, but at the same time, in advertising conglomerate like this, like the whole ESG, the whole BlackRock type thing, basically all these people that are tied in with this basically this whole Marxist movement that's been going on, this whole woke ideology, everything that's been going on, uh being able to actually essentially, like he said, blackmail the heads of these companies, and basically it makes them like another arm of the government. It makes them, it gives them much more power than necessary. And of course, you could understand, they're gonna, we don't want our advertising to be, with all that type of stuff, which is another thing that it went down this week, where Elon Musk is actually now suing. Elon Musk, who's at Rumble, a couple other uh, people from the conservative sphere are basically suing Media Matters now for basically smearing their companies and basically getting advertisers to move away from the companies, right? So basically, what's the whole thing that's going on with X right now, the whole issue is basically advertisers threatening to remove their stuff, and basically media people smearing the X app and Elon Musk as being anti-Semitisms, right? And basically, he said how he feels, and he's got the type of money to do that, right? And he does have the a lot of the community backing as well too. I mean, immediately upon the announcement of the Media Matters lawsuit, we already had what Andrew Tate pledged $1 million a month in advertising. Tim Pool, like 250,000 or something like that. Just people just all over, just like, fuck it, I'll advertise then. And really,
Not to mention, dude, I'm sure the dude could probably get 100 million people to pay fucking $6 to $10 a month, bro. I mean, they might not want to go for the full fucking $20 package, but at this point, dude, just for the fact that he's out here saying "fuck you" to the lizard fucking overlords, I'll throw him $5 a month, man.
right, that's what I was thinking too, man. I mean, I might as well. I mean, I'm streaming the show on the old X app, so shit, might as well, right? Like it, just get my check mark. I'll be
Right.
legit finally. I'll be somebody on the interwebs, right?
Yeah,
But
unless you listen to the fucking MSM at all, dude, because the check mark only meant something for fucking Twitter, 1.0. You know what I mean? Twix, that's just means you're a Nazis, dude.
right, yep,
I'm
yeah. If I can,
gonna get my eagle, bro.
but so what? One kind of a bit of a tangent, I guess that's kind of related to this is the whole uh I guess just basically these companies and corporations being politicized in the first place. And a part that I kind of wanted to ask you about was the relation to having to disclose all your donations. Basically, having should have to disclose all campaign donations. All campaign donations should be public data, right? And so basically, that I've been kind of battling over the question. Well, maybe that's unethical. Maybe some people would like to donate to a campaign, but they don't want their company necessarily associated with that political view, right?
Right.
Understandable, but at the same time, if you're expecting to donate to campaigns, or if you're same thing with Elon Musk, if you're a company or a corporation or whatever, and you're trying to use either advertising or what have you to basically pull sway and shit like that. Uh, yeah, shit, I forgot the point I was going. Then it's really kind of a, some backdoor dark seedy shit, right? If you actually believe in something and you actually want to make a sort of change, something like that, and you should, feel comfortable with bringing it out in the open, right? You should feel comfortable with going to, the public, sphere with, what you support, right? And like I said, I understand, maybe you don't want your company associated with certain political, groups and stuff like that. Then don't donate to them, right? You know that the only reason that you are donating to these different campaigns and stuff like that is because you are expecting something in return, right? And that's inherently wrong. That's basically why our nation has, become an oligarchy at this point, right? And so, like I say, fuck it, all campaign donations should be uh you know public information. But like I said, a bit of a tangent. But what's your thoughts on that kind of view?
I mean, I could definitely see, like you're saying, as far as wanting to do anonymous, you know what I mean? You're a business owner, yada, yada, you know what I mean? You have, you know, you don't want your personal political beliefs, intertwined with that. But, at the same time, I almost think we're past that. It's time that, you pick a side, we come together and, stand proud, I guess, man. But I don't know. I mean, the donation part to me is just about limitations. You know what I mean? But with the topic with the Elon and the Twixes and the advertisements and shit, these people are basically the government's using these people to sidestep your fucking God given rights, man. I mean, we know what the Twitter files, the YouTube files, the Zuckerberg on fucking a Rogan, so on and so forth, man. It's the government using these corporations, and who the fuck are these people? Like Bob Iger is only somebody at fucking Disney. You know what I mean? Like I don't want some guy that makes fucking Captain Marvel deciding, anything that has to, is going to affect my personal life, man.
Right.
Complete toads, dude. And it's a corporatocracy. You know what I mean? It's almost past, oligarchy. I mean, I know, it's the combination, but it's like, it's a running like a full on corporation, man, from top to bottom.
Yeah, and speaking of the whole government censorship thing, like you're saying, trying to use their money for pool and stuff like that. Did you see the shit? What's his name? Dan Goldman clips where he's basically trying to defend, like, oh, that's not government censorship. That's called terms of service.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like, that guy's an attorney. He fucking knows better than that, man.
Oh
But
yeah,
you hear him. I mean, you see that guy's a pathological fucking sociopath. He's not just a political liar like your average politician. That guy is pathological, man. I mean, he's still fucking trying to say that the Hunter hard drive is fucking Russian
right,
disinformation and that it could possibly been tampered with by fucking 90-year-old Rudy Giuliani. That guy's a
right.
fucking tech mogul, right?
The tech genius.
Right, dude. He's probably got 50 fucking years on me. I mean, not really, but damn close. And fuck, I couldn't tamper with a hard drive, man. I mean, maybe destroy it. You know what I'm saying? But not make it seem like it's like an illusion. It's something it's not and shit. Fuck.
I have a hard enough time setting up a fucking live stream, man. Like,
Right.
Jesus, man, you're fucking trying to tamper with the hard drive of all the things, right? And at the same time, too, like, it's not like it's all just on this hard drive, right? If I can, a lot of the stuff that was on there, like a lot of the text
Emails,
messages,
text. Yeah.
right? That wasn't from his hard drive. That was from the Apple, right? To the iCloud. The only thing that they were I can't speak. They were able to get into his iCloud through the passwords and shit that he had saved on the hard drive, right? So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
no
all that was from his
WhatsApp
hard
and
drive.
right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, tech fucking genius, fucking top hackers right there.
Right. But the one tech genius involved in it, the base, the legally blind fucking computer tech, where Hunter left the damn computer, is letting like, this shit's real. Like, I've already turned it into the FBI, man, and they're still like, that's Russians. And like, the dude dropped it off to me personally. Like, he's on my fucking, you know what I mean? My surveillance camera. What the fuck are you even talking about? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah, the fucking FBI fucking didn't they searched fucking Giuliani's place and didn't even They walked past the fucking laptop 10 times and didn't even pick the thing up. But actually,
Ridiculous shit, man.
I got the clip right here of just that. Oh.
Just look at him, dude. Straight twat. That beak's
Right.
never been punched before.
Right. No, I'm not saying the FBI tampered with it. I'm saying the fucking 95 fucking crustacean known as Rudy Giuliani. He's the one that fucking got in there and hacked shit.
Yeah. The dude's got fucking spray fucking dye running down his forehead, bro. Like he's the lowest tech cat on the fucking inner zones. What do you
Right. And then we got this one, of course, too, where he's basically trying to defend government interfering in the public discourse on Twitter, and it's not government censorship; it's the terms of service.
There's no sound. You hear me?
Yeah. Let's see. I see what's going on here. It should have sound.
We got people in the comments. No sound on that clip or that one.
Yeah, let me go ahead and re-pull it up real quick. Oh, okay. It's because I need to share the tab itself. All right, now it should work. Let me know if
Schellenberg, is 13% censorship
there we go.
still censorship?
Absolutely.
And the other 87% is what we call the chilling effect that the courts have long recognized that they engaged in. That is the problem.
There's a broad by the way, part of the operation, Congressman Goldman, part of the operation was to change the terms of service. So you see them constantly trying to change the terms of service. You see them, it was 35% of the URLs that were, this according to EIP, were labeled, removed, or soft blocked. That's all forms of censorship. That censorship is not just removal.
65% were not. So how can the government be so coercive?
Does the First Amendment say that the government
for the course on government
efficiency? Does the First Amendment say that the government can censor 35%?
They're not censoring. They're flagging in the social media companies.
So under coercion,
35% of a First Amendment? Or
It's
not the
They're
First
not
Amendment.
censoring.
It's the terms of
They're
service.
telling someone else to
And they're
censor it.
flagging it for the social media companies to make their own decisions. That is not the First Amendment. That is the terms of service.
We've just seen them.
Congressman, you're an attorney. You know that 4 federal judges have already ruled that.
And I know that it's on appeal in front of the Supreme Court right now.
Everybody's on their snicker and everything. It's
Right, what a piece
idiot,
of
dude.
lizard shit, dude. I don't, he's not an idiot. He's an attorney. You know what I mean? He's passed the state bar, but he's an obvious, just straight propagandist piece of shit, pathological fucking liar, dude.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you could tell just that everything that he's done over this last year, has basically just been to get on TV. Right, like Bongino says, politics is snapshots and sound bites, right? And this dude understands that clearly, right? As with this, he knew exactly what he was saying with what was it last week with this whole, this Donald Trump guy, he needs to be forget what exactly he said, but like taken out or something like that, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows
it needs to be eliminated.
Right,
That's what
right, needs to be eliminated. But yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing. Like it's like Bongino says, fucking politics is all snapshots and fucking sound bites, man. That's exactly what he's doing here. But
He's been doing the same thing the Democrats have been doing over the past fucking 6 years, which is literal calls to violence, man. They talk like if you put your fingers in the air and say, okay, they're like, that's a dog whistle, but they're literally telling you attack these people at restaurants and fucking gas stations and Trump needs to be eliminated, shit like that. And they're getting worse and worse as far as the blatancy with, their actions, like the whole 1984 aspect of don't believe your eyes. I mean, you got like the Jamal Bowman video where he walks up, pulls the fucking fire alarm sign down, and then pulls the alarm and says, I was trying to open the door. Fucking, this guy telling you after this has already been corroborated by the FBI, it's fucking Russians. It's the Russians. I mean, it's a constant, they do some shit and then tell you that's not happening. You know what I mean? Like you just fucking watched it, man.
Right. Yep. Yep. It's the mind games, man. It's it's I don't know, man. It's politics, man. It really is. It's gives you headaches at times, just like the audacity,
I mean, of course, there's always been corruption. There's always been, propagandists and shit like that, right? I mean, do you think it's more of an extent, or do you think now it's just because of, the power of information and the speed at which it travels? They just can't get away with the shit anymore. You think it's always been this bad? Because to me, I mean, I've been fucking with this shit for over a decade, and it's become way more blatant, man.
Right. I think a lot of the stuff. I mean, obviously, I got woken up to the whole politics during the COVID era and stuff, right? So obviously, I don't really know from before, but like I said, what it seems to me is like I said, they are acting like not necessarily just the Dems, but just the Uniparty in general. They're acting like a cornered animal right now, So it seems like they're lashing out, more often, more blatantly, and just they're brazen about it because, like I said, it really kind of is, almost like a life or death situation for them. So I say I don't think they're gonna fucking let Trump win. I don't think they'll let that happen, because they know that
the establishment thing, though. I mean, it's like I understand the establishment, but it's not anyone that I know of that you see that's on the right that's like literally flipping you off, telling you, "I just waved hi to you." What do you mean? Like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And that is the left. Like I said, they will like people are on film doing shit, and they like that didn't happen. I was trying to do whoop de whoop.
Right?
Fuck.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us to I guess our next point, which is George Santos, right? So they voted to expel him from Congress today, and so like you were saying with Jamal Bowman and stuff like that, like he didn't he actually get charged with something, or didn't he actually?
He pled guilty. He pled guilty.
A misdemeanor crime.
Yeah, they only gave him a misdemeanor, of course.
Right.
But yeah, he pled guilty.
And then George Santos is basically just, I guess, not necessarily accused. I guess a lot of the stuff, has been kind of proven, but basically he's accused of lying to his constituents, or basically lying to the public, basically being a politician, right? So basically in my opinion, it just seems like he's low hanging fruit, and basically the Dems have been kind of attacking on that ever since he got elected and stuff. And so I think basically they've been pushing at this, and it just again it goes to show that the Dems they constantly work in concert. They constantly just pick at the little weak point that they're able to find, and the Republicans do nothing of the sort. Like I said, case in point being Jamal Bowman, right? He actually pled guilty to something. Right. That that could be grounds for expulsion. But are they going to pursue it? Probably not. Right. But yet, we'll have Republicans as well, even voting to basically get rid of George Santos.
Absolutely asinine, dude. They're fucking spineless jellyfish as usual, man. Always trying to snatch defeat, right? Fucking, we have the slimmest fucking majority possible, man. And regardless if this guy's a straight piece of shit, whatever the case, fucking, dude, we absolutely need that vote right now to the utmost importance. And of course, fucking, you can always count on Republicans to do exactly what's going to fuck them up. You know what I mean? They're absolutely afraid of power, don't know how to wield it. And when they have it, they just continuously fuck up and fight amongst themselves, man. You know, I don't even know what to say past that point. And I'm surely not sticking up for Santos. The dude has some charges. He hasn't been convicted of fucking anything, you know, innocent till proven guilty, but he's obviously a fucking slime ball. You know what I mean? But if he's going to vote in our favor, use him just like the Dems use their whole team of fucking slime balls.
Right. And it's like we said, like a few months back, about all the Trump indictments and shit like that. And it really does kind of prove that there is a uniparty and stuff like that. Because really, with all the power that basically they have in Congress and shit right now, there is stuff that they can do to rally behind, Trump or, their basically their political side, as we're seeing the Democrats do, right? The same way they did with Rashida Tlaib when the vote went to censor her, right? Everyone's tears and crying and this is an abomination of justice and all this and that type of shit, right? But then again, when it comes
not only that, they fucking Republicans voted to keep Schiff in.
Right.
The biggest lying sack of shit, cost taxpayers fucking tens of millions of dollars, man, with bold-faced fucking lies across national television.
Yeah, shit. Don't even get started on the fucking waste of time and fucking circus that the fucking January 6th committee was, especially now that all the tapes have been released.
Yeah.
Like,
and they conveniently destroyed their files and shit. They should be charged for that kind of shit, man. You know what I mean? At minimum, gross negligence.
Yeah, but did you see this clip of Fetterman basically calling for the expulsion of Bob Menendez?
Yeah, and I mean, you hate to say it, but Fetterman really does come out with some moral fucking views sometimes. Right. He does. Right, I gotta give it to him, man.
All right, that was the first thing I thought. It was like the guy's a fucking he's a Riri, but he's got a point, Let's go ahead and check this out real quick.
And you've also been calling to get rid of Menendez, I know. But first, before we talk about that, what's your reaction to the expulsion?
Well, it's like I'm not surprised, but to me, I think the more important picture is that we have a colleague in the Senate that actually did much more sinister and serious kinds of things. Senator Menendez, he needs to go. And if you are going to expel Santos, how can you allow to somebody like Menendez to remain in the Senate? And Santos's kind of lies were almost funny, and like he landed on the moon and that kind of stuff. Whereas I think Menendez is really a senator for Egypt, not New Jersey. So I really think he needs to go. And especially, it's kind of strange that if Santos is not allowed to remain in the House, someone like that. Yeah.
Are you, though, uncomfortable with the fact that there hasn't been an adjudication, that while he's been charged, there hasn't been a conviction? With Menendez.
I am. And it's like he has the right for his day in court and all that, but he doesn't have the right to have those kind of votes and things that's not a right.
Dude, I fucking cannot stand Sonny Hostin, dude. I would love to throat chop that fucking bitch, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think John Fetterman's getting his faculties back. I think the therapy's paying off, unfortunately, right? I mean, fortunately for him and his family, of course. But I mean, unfortunately, it's going to prove harder to unseat the dude. You know what I mean? The more sense and coherent he becomes, like he's going to become an issue at some point, man. He's fucking Bernie Sanders with brain damage right now, but he's healing, bro.
Right. Yeah. And then there's, of course, everybody loves a fucking redemption story. The fucking senator that fucking won against all odds, like fucking a brain dead fucking person versus a doctor, and he fucking won. And then now he's recovered, and now he's the moral center of the left. Like, I think you're absolutely right, man. I think it's like I said, that was his moment to shine, fucking. And again, I agree with the dude in this sentiment. He gets a gold star for the day.
Yeah.
Yep. But fucking really
broken ass clock, bro.
Right. Even a blind squirrel, man.
Right. Right.
Right. But I do like I do like the part too where he says like fucking. I mean, George Santos's lies like they're kind of funny, man. Like they're fucking,
Right.
like, just, like, I was actually once a fucking an astronaut cowboy in space type shit. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like really,
Fucking
that's
Jew God King of New York, bro.
right, right. Where meanwhile, fucking Bob Menendez, that's stuff that's actually detrimental to the fucking country, and stuff that's clear fucking corruption and shit, not necessarily just bullshit in the voters and shit. That's actually fucking corruption, taking fucking money and shit from foreign countries.
Right. But it's crazy if you stop and think about it for a second. You look back at those old presidential campaign tapes of Biden from the 80s when he had to step down because they, brought it to public that he's a plagiarizing lying sack of shit. His lies are similar, bro. He was like, I graduated at the top of my class with honors, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Political science, fucking student of the year, fucking all this kind of shit, similar shit, bro. And that
Yep.
guy's brain dead now and president. And Santos is getting fucking, getting the expulsion ticket by basically his own party, because without the Republicans voting for it, obviously it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I really do. Like I said, you could I guess call the Democrat Party the fucking demagogue party, but really, it's like I said, it's not just not just a Democrat thing. Like we see with people like George Santos and shit. It's really if you're able to fucking get into the vein of what the voters are actually looking for, and you're able to just say the right things and shit. Like take Joe Biden for example. Fucking he wrote the fucking 1994 crime bill. And now he's all about fucking like, oh, they're just they're just misunderstood and fucking, social economic conditions, this and that. Like, he just puts a finger in the air and feels what the fucking wind is saying. And that's what I believe,
Yeah. And like I got video of that, back in the day, him standing in the house talking about, he doesn't care about their, socioeconomic hardships or issues, that basically they're predators and they need to be locked up before him or his fucking mom get robbed. And
right.
You know what I mean? Like, and, of course, the Barack Obama's the first clean, articulate black man he's ever met, and so on and so forth, dude. I mean, the dude's always been a racist, lying sack of shit, but, people's attention spans, bro. I mean, even when he was the vice president, he was just a sideshow. He was sideshow Bob. He was a fucking clown, man. You know what I mean? Watch Uncle Joe make an ass of himself before you hear Obama eloquently lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's one of them articulate black men.
Right.
But,
don't fall down, Joe.
He's a fucking the search engine on Rumble is so fucking horrible. Fucking terrible, man.
Yep, but I could definitely see in the future, dude. You got about a 45% chance, dude, of Fetterman AOC ticket, dude, and fucking winning. You know what I'm saying? Yep. The trajectory we're going now, dude. Yep, dude. Fucking AOC fucking is gonna be president, son.
Right. Fucking could shit. It's like I say, it's a possibility, fucking just I guess like I don't know, like I say her she's like a Fetterman type like person, She's fucking a complete fucking moron, but every now and then she says something that, it's like, yeah, I guess, and so that basically just proves that, she's going to be fucking solidified in there. And I think that, like I said, that's, I think what Dan Goldman's trying to do. He's trying to fucking, but, just not necessarily have moments of clarity. He's basically just trying to do the whole demagoguery thing and basically just say what the establishment fucking wants us. He's doing the whole repeat the line, fucking repeat the narrative thing,
Just with that nose alone, he's not going nowhere, bro.
Right. Yeah. Fucking let's see, you want to talk about fucking the Epstein flight logs?
Sure. I mean, not a lot to say about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of same old fucking kick the can, bro. The people that are on the list are not going to let it fucking get released, man.
Yeah. That's, I guess it really does. I guess it kind of singles some of the people out though, like especially with this whole fucking Dick Durbin,
Right.
I'm guessing he was probably on the list, but yeah, go ahead and pull up this Ovidja from Senator Blackburn here, right after. Right after it basically got shut down. Let's go ahead and take this one out.
Well, if you were not watching C-SPAN and if you didn't see that Judiciary Committee hearing today, this was quite a mess. But we were trying to get my subpoenas of Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs and the subpoena of Sotomayor and her book deal. Things that weren't reported, but we have found out about this through the news. And of course, the chairman blocked it all, cut it off. That's not how this committee is supposed to work. Well, if you were not watching...
Yep. Let me go and pull up the news article for a second. But yeah, they're definitely, they're never going to let that, come out. I don't know. It's going to be a global bombshell. Obviously, their obvious reasoning against releasing any of the stuff is apparent. Because obviously it's going to completely destroy most of the world's order. Most of the shit that keeps the world there, especially when people start to realize that your fucking political leaders are all fucking pedophiles. It's definitely going to throw a wrench in the gears, but at the same time, most of us fucking think of our fucking politicians are all pedophiles, or if anything, we pretty sure they're all corrupt. So there's not much more you can do to destroy our faith in the political system. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's really just kind of release the Kraken.
Yeah, but it'll hang out with the JFK files, of course. That'll be some shit that you'll get a redacted fucking release of after we're all dead.
Yep. Shit, if that, I doubt they'll even They're gonna try and sweep it under the rug, and fucking people will write books about it. People they'll do like a fucking 60 Minutes investigates. Fucking 20 fucking years from now or some shit. That's all it's gonna be.
That's why
it's gonna be
every year you make sure you share your fucking Facebook memories of fucking Epstein didn't kill himself, son.
right.
Every year, don't ever miss that shit.
The Epstein flight log is gonna be like the new fucking Loch Ness monster, the new Bigfoot. Every couple of years there's gonna be a documentary fucking in search of Epstein's flight logs, and it's gonna be we're gonna put out several seasons, and fucking every time we're gonna get right up to the edge, and then we're gonna give you one tiny little snippet of something, and then make sure you guys tune in next season. That's all they're gonna do with it. They're just gonna make a fucking big old show out of it. And it's gonna fucking squeeze it for all that it's worth. Yeah, we're never going to actually get the actual flight logs. But then again, never say never. I mean, there's still the fucking possibility that the government collapses it, and then we're just able to raid the archives one day. That is a possibility.
Yeah, for sure. And just know that everybody that's on the left, as far as the political hierarchy is concerned, was known to fuck around with that crew after Epstein was fucking charged and convicted of fucking pedophilic fucking actions, right?
Yeah.
And and then anytime you point that out, they'll post a fucking picture from 1991 of fucking Trump and fucking Epstein's or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like
they were in the same room one time.
Right. And if you do any kind of research, that Trump tripped out on that fool in Mar-a-Lago and kicked him the fuck out, dude, because of the way he treated the staff. You know what I mean? And they weren't cool after that, man. You know what I mean? And that's not like a Trump story or nothing like that. That's tabloid news shit. You can go run around and check out, man, from years ago. People act like there's no archives out this bitch, man.
Right. Shit, what was it, like a couple months back, maybe like a year or so? I don't remember when it was, but yeah, they released a whole bunch of people that were actually known to go and see fucking Epstein after the original fucking the first conviction and stuff. Like, and one of those names was including Noam Chomsky.
Right.
There's
he's a fruitcake, dude.
But yeah, fucking I don't know, man. Fucking like I say, we still have the hope that one day we shall be able to raid the archives of the United States government.
Yeah, but it's sad that you have fucking what's supposed to be your representatives blocking the release of any kind of information that has nothing to do with national fucking secret, international secrets, I guess you'd say for that one, right? Because I mean, ultimately, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with governance, anything like that. Even if politicians, what have you, it's particular people. It's not countries or governments. It's fucking this dude's a piece of shit.
All right. Yep. Fucking nice. Like I like to say though, man, until the actual list comes out, until we actually get some definitive proof, they're all fucking pedophilic, fucking corrupt, lizard people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Yeah, let me.
You got to see one of the kings of the fucking lizards fucking last night, huh?
Right. Actually, I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
I mean, you know damn well I didn't watch it, but I watched a lot of highlights, man.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't sit through that, dude. Fuck Hannity, dude. Fucking Fox Stetler, bro.
Right. Yeah, dude. That was like the most fucking I guess sad, pathetic fucking establishment attempts at a fucking debate. Like, what was the point? I mean, Gavin Newsom is not running for president of 2024.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then Ron DeSantis has zero fucking chance of winning the primary. So what is the point? What was the entire point? Like, I guess for the whole WWE fucking the way that politics has been for so long, where red state versus blue state, fucking my state's better than your state and this and that type shit. I guess that is the only point that I could actually see to that entire debate.
Did you watch the zingers though?
I saw a couple of them.
Like I mean, the one the lefties are pushing around, like as if fucking Newsom did something. Like when he's like, neither of us will be the nominee for our parties for 2024. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what does that mean? Like, that's not like, I don't think that's making the impact you think it is, dude.
Right.
And, it was great, DeSantis pulling out the shit map. I mean, that was wonderful. That was some gotchas. But he should have went hard on him, man. Like, especially like when they mentioned, any mention of the COVID situation, he should have been like, oh, well, you mean when you were at the French Laundry hanging out with your friends with no fucking mask, bro? I mean, he should have been lighting his ass up. You know what I mean? Like I said, the shit map was great. And the zinger of the night, of course, fucking, talking about an anecdotal story of someone moving from California and how Florida is way better governed and yada, yada. Oh, and by the way, he told me he's your father-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the zinger of the night, dude. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think I believe it's going to drop him even more in the polls, man.
Who, DeSantis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I forgot who was speculating about it, but I mean, I guess like I say, just the whole WWE aspect of it. Really, I think it might give him a slight boost, but then again, he's too far behind that it's not like he's gonna catch up to fucking Trump or anything like that. So again, I think it's kind of irrelevant, but I think it did kind of help DeSantis in a little bit in the fact that it was able to remind us why we like DeSantis in the first place, and it's because of what he did for Florida. So
I mean, that's cool, but I mean, you've even said yourself doing that on a nation scale, something totally different.
Yeah,
and I see it differently. I see him going down, even though he had those couple little moments. The vast majority of the time, he stood there with a weird ass fucking shitty grin, moving like a robot and shit, dude. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
In high heels.
I mean, dude, the guy has zero fucking personality. He's not good on a debate stage. To me, that was his best performance. Like he even from all the highlights from the previous fucking vice, well, I guess you can call it the vice presidential debates going on. Fucking, he sucked. He sucked, man.
He's too dry, man. Like like I said, I think he's a clear representation of what the old Republican Party has always been.
Exactly. Yep. Fucking exactly, dude. And that's why I see like people that are behind him are milquetoast fucks, dude. Dudes that are gonna come over with a collar sticking out of their fucking Argyle sweater and stuff. Hey, Bobby, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For real. We're conservatives.
We're in a new era of politics and shit. Like I said, it was just the old way is really dry, like unless you're fucking actually coming out there dropping some major fucking truth bombs and shit like that, like it's not what's going to get the crowd going no more. It's not what's going to get you support anymore. Like I said, it was just a kind of a sad attempt at fucking the establishment trying to revive itself,
Yeah. And because, he was on fucking the MAGA team, dude, through Trump's fucking term. Like, Trump supporters and shit tended to share his clips out and fucking, be supportive towards him and shit. But I think that the MAGA crowd is not Republicans for the most part. I mean, obviously you have some, that support Trump and whatnot, but for the most part, he attracted a different crowd to the Republican Party that they normally wouldn't have the support of. And even a lot of people that normally wouldn't even vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think without him, like a DeSantis, that's why I don't know if you've seen this recent poll from the Harris polling. They took Trump out of the equation, and fucking DeSantis still only hits 37%. So, like, when you remove Trump, he's about even of what fucking Biden is right now with his own national polls.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's a new era. I mean, people don't want the same old, fucking
Yeah.
If you're not, like I say, if you're not out there, hitting them zingers, you're basically an also ran,
Even the zingers, though, I mean, they try and try. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't work out. Like, Chris Christie's over there got to find out with his repeated fucking use of Donald Duck. Like, dude, you're a fucking moron, son. It's not working, man. You know what I mean? People aren't laughing at that. They're laughing at your big ass. You know what I'm saying?
They all remind me of like a fucking like middle school principal or something like that. You know what I mean?
Especially fucking Krispy Kremes.
Right. I was gonna say, especially fucking Nikki Haley, dude. Nikki Haley actually reminds me of my elementary school principal.
Yeah, she reminds me of a fucking chick gym teacher, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, all militant and shit.
Right. They're just all, like I say, just fucking basic, made for TV, family friendly.
Advertisers
politics,
friendlies, dude.
Right.
If you got Nikki Haley on Twix, bro, you're gonna get some advertisements. Tell you what.
Yeah. I think we're
Twixes.
I think we're coming into a whole new era of free speech. I mean, well, that's becoming apparent, but even in politics, I think we're coming to an era in politics where there is no taboo subjects anymore, except Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know, man. You see the ramping up across the fucking board, man, all over the West. And they're doing it here too. It's just not as out in the open. I mean, it's recently come out that our actual military has been using fucking, propagandistic tactics and, mental programming, not just on like some MK Ultra victims, but the public at large, man.
Right.
And, and not to mention the censorship. I mean, it just keeps going. Like, and even old Elon's, as hard as that guy's been trying to work, these people, they sat for years and wove in code over code over code over code. So even when they're like, okay, we gotta, let these people have their accounts back, what have you, it's still shadow banned and shit like that, and they don't find it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a constant fucking battle, bro. And, then this new shit that Biden's rolling out where they're fucking, we're going to teach kids in elementary school how to disseminate mis and disinformations. That's literal fucking, programming your kids against you. I mean, dude, he just signed a bill trying to out or attempting, thinking about signing a bill where it's going to outlaw Christians from fucking adopting, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't hear that one, but I mean,
yeah. I mean, dude, it's nonstop insanity, man.
I think, again, there's old white pillar over here, but I think just the fact that a lot of this stuff is being brought to the forefront. A lot of people are becoming more aware of the stuff like that. Like we say, politics is becoming pop culture nowadays, and conspiracy theorists, conspiracy theories, the Alex Joneses of the world like that, aren't necessarily demonized anymore. I mean, they're demonized by the mainstream, by the establishment, by the media and stuff like that. But a lot of people are starting to wake up and smell it and smell the bullshit. They're starting to wake up and smell the propaganda, and they're starting to kind of look in alternate directions. That's why
Now
we're
they got
seeing
a presidential candidate telling them tetrazine in the water turns fucking frogs from male to female.
right.
That they actually turned the
Yep.
fucking frogs gay. You know what I'm saying?
Vindication.
Right.
Yep.
Open your eyes.
But yeah, I think a lot of it becoming more apparent. Like I say, I think a lot of the stuff that you named off, like fucking Biden trying to start a fucking a ministry of propaganda to fucking teach kids how to fucking to make sure that you shield your eyes from the truth, and all that type shit. It's desperation, man, and so that's why it's dark, and it's really really type of scary type stuff. But like I said, I think that they're really trying to push this hard because they know that a lot more people are waking up than they're able to put back to sleep now. Just all the vindicating moments that we've been having, especially with everything with the like Hunter Biden, with everything with COVID, with the vaccines and all that type of stuff. Like, don't nobody want to take a fucking vaccine no more, fucking left or right, And so I think a lot of this type of stuff is really just kind of waking people up, and I think it might be just in the nick of time, as we're seeing with the support coming from random different places for Donald Trump. I think our politics in America right now, it's not dividing, it's fracturing, and so it's going to eventually fracture, break up, reshuffle, and then we're gonna have something new. And so I think that's I think we're coming to a new era of truth, where basically there's not necessarily going to be taboo subjects or fucking codes of decorum that fucking we're supposed to abide by and shit anymore, just because people's feelings and stuff like that. And I think we're waking up to the bullshit that we've been fed. And I think a lot of that has to do with the COVID and all of the fucking dystopian, draconian type measures that they try to, well, not try, that they did impose on people. It woke up a lot of people, and then that woke up people to start digging, and then now just shit's cascading, and they can't control it. That's why they're getting wild and wacky.
Yep, with the white lung rolling out now. They're going to try it again, right? Just in time for the 2024, bro. They've already saying that they've had 2 cases found here in America as they leave the fucking goddamn border open as usual. It's from old China, right? And fucking, we know over 100,000 fucking Chinese nationals have poured through the border this year alone, man. So it's they welcome the shit. They're setting this up for shit just to retain and gain fucking power. If you let them fucking use power in emergency, Dave, right? They're always going to create fucking emergencies.
Yep.
So get ready, dude, because it's definitely going to be clown world for the next fucking 10 months, dude. I could definitely see that shit happening. It's only going to get fucking weirder.
Yep. How do you think people would react to another attempted lockdown over the old fucking Chinese white lung?
Well, I was just shopping the other day, and I probably saw 20 people in one store wearing masks. So, I think there'll be a whole lot of fucking sheeple that'll go right along with it, especially, people at the higher end of the economic fucking ladder there. You know what I mean? They have no reason not to. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, sure. I mean, they'll still do their, commerce and stuff. Of course, they won't close their businesses, shit like that. But they have no problem with fucking supporting lockdowns and shit.
Right. At the same time, fucking that's one end of the spectrum. But how do you think the other end of the spectrum is going to react?
The extreme, of course, you're going to point out mass inflation, fucking, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be fucking civil unrest, I'm sure. We remember last time, it was one side was allowed to riot while the other side couldn't go to work. So,
right.
I could definitely see something like that popping off as well. I mean, fuck. Like I said, it's just going to get weirder and weirder. I don't see it being smooth in any way, shape, or form. And then earlier, like you're saying, I don't think they're going to let, old DJ come back in, right?
Yeah.
But, if that's the case, it's just going to make it even more wild, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think they're going to try and do it legally? Or do you think they're just going to martyr the motherfuckers?
Well, I mean, you see, they're putting out articles. This is what happens if,
Right.
Donald J. Trump dies, and, you got fucking Dan Goldman on national television saying he needs to be eliminated. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So, it wouldn't be surprising. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That fucking dastardly and, you know, definitely going to cause some fucking uproar, dude. You don't want to fucking ever say too much because the lists are already made and they're fucking, I'm sure currently looking at everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got this fucking goddamn dude, what's it, old Jack Smith, requesting the information of all fucking social media users that interacted with fucking Trumpsicles. You know what I mean? Liked, shared, commented, anything like that, on top of all the drafted comments, anything like that, dude.
Yeah. Fucking all was it like 80 some fucking million followers or some shit like that.
Right. I think before he got removed, I think he had like 100 or some shit. But yeah.
Do you think there's a tipping point where, if there's literally at the point where we're growing more support and like you said, if they're literally fucking at the point of naming 80 some million fucking people as domestic terrorists and shit, and basically if you don't work for the government, you're a domestic terrorist. Like, do you think they're even gonna be able to get to that fucking point without some sort of a revolt going off?
I don't know, man. Like I said, it's hard to say. I think there's going to be some serious shit happening. I mean, but they'll try to pull it off. I mean, just like, Joe Biden stands in front of you and tells you, they created 13 million jobs when 12 of which came back from fucking COVID. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then after that, when you actually break down numbers, we've lost jobs, especially in manufacturing and whatnot. The only thing that's increased is fucking government jobs. So yeah, and that's part of the Green New Deal is basically you want half the fucking population employed by the government, man, because one half depends on them to feed them, the other half depends on them to sign their paycheck.
Right. Yep. Fucking communism.
Yep.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
Shit, man, fucking. So what's your take on all? So I got just point out the three most notable ones that have kind of not necessarily endorsed Donald Trump, but basically said that voting for Donald Trump's on the table, right? So we got the one of the heads of BLM. What is it, in Rhode Island? Is that where he's from?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Yes. We got him. We got Michael Rappaport basically saying, "Oh, I'll vote for fucking pig dick Donald Trump. I'm still gonna call him pig dick, but I'll vote for him." And then we got shit. Who else is it? Fucking
Cuomo, dude.
right, Chris Cuomo, man. So obviously three different people, all from the left, but all three with, I guess, different takes, right? So of course the BLM leader basically he's his thing is basically like fuck Democrats, like fucking we've come to the realization that the Democrats just basically use the black community as a vote and as a fucking a political fucking pawn or political chip to play and shit. And so that's his reasoning. Michael Rappaport is afraid for being Jewish. Michael Rappaport wants Donald Trump to save Israel and the Jews and whatnots, right? And then we got fucking Chris Cuomo, who basically I don't know, his is a bit of a different read. I don't know if Chris Cuomo is trying to go for redemption, if he's trying to redeem himself in the eyes of the public, but basically his take on it is we did 4 years of Trump before. I don't think 4 more years of Trump is going to end America. Just basically, I don't think 4 more years of Joe Biden would end America and shit. But secretly, he believes that 4 more years of Joe Biden would probably end America, right? But
right.
So 3 different fucking takes, 3 different reasons why people are basically, like I said, not outright endorsing Trump, but basically saying that voting for Donald Trump is on the table this year or in 2024. What's your take on that?
Yep, you got Latinos for Trump, dude. Blacks for Trump is grown exponentially. They're talking about him possibly having around 22% of the black vote, which is like landslide numbers for a
Right.
Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Death sentence for the Democrat Party.
Yeah. And, you got a lot of Latin groups that are like, made up basically of legal fucking immigrants, the people that
Right.
actually came here and, assimilated, contribute to America and shit. And they're all about it. I mean, it's a different landscape. I don't want to like you said, I don't want to get too, hyper white pilled like it's 2016 because they're trying everything they can to fucking destroy this dude. I mean, I think it was either today or yesterday, they ruled that he can be held civilly liable for January 6th. So, I mean, they're going to drain him of every fucking penny he has, dude. You know what I mean? So, but the support has grown massively, and at this point it's going to take like a fucking plane crash or a McDonald's induced heart attack or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I see it. I don't even think they can make the fucking machines go burr enough, doc.
Do you think a lot of these uber wealthy fucking super capitalists on the right are going to finally find a good cause to actually throw all of their money toward? Like you said, fucking everything that they're doing with Trump and shit, it's going to bankrupt the dude. He doesn't give a shit, like in a lot of these more big name people on the right and stuff, like Tim Pool, he's trying to start that whole fucking public square in Virginia and stuff. Like if that doesn't go off, that could bankrupt the dude, but he's still willing to give it a shot. Like a lot of these people are willing to basically take all of this money that they've amassed and basically just kind of throw it at the culture war, because that's, like I say, it really is kind of the most pressing thing going on amongst society. And again, I'm very like I say, like you mentioned earlier, how I was talking about DeSantis, like, great, you fix fucking wokeness in Florida. I don't want those same type of measures being done on a fucking federal level and shit, right? And so I think, a lot of this stuff really does need to be fixed within the culture, not legislative, not within the legislation, right? So I think a lot of these people, throwing everything they got into the culture is really, it's quite altruistic and fucking lighthearted and fucking doing for the greater's good and stuff. But it's working, it seems like.
All right. Do you see something like culture, something that's able, like a quick fix like that? Like, we can build an alternate economy and everything's okay. It's like, I mean, I think culture is more of like a generational thing. Like we talk about the Frankfurt School of Education. I mean, it took them decades to get, to now where we have generations that hate themselves and their country. You know what I mean? And,
right.
I think it's going to take some time to turn that around. It's definitely not overnight, a year, a few years.
I think one thing that we are seeing that is quite positive with amongst the younger voters and stuff right now, especially the people that first got to vote for the first time fucking during lockdowns and shit. They got to spend their first vote on fucking Joe Biden. I think a lot of those people are they're not necessarily turning away from their whole fucking, like, they're not necessarily becoming fucking conservative. They're not necessarily becoming all about fucking America gung ho and shit like that, but they are having this sentiment that fuck my government. My government is fucking horrible. My government is fucking, absolute fucking garbage, which is, it's a start, it's a good sentiment to have, now we just got to, reinstill the actual, ideology of liberty and freedom and what America is supposed to be founded on, as long as we're able to, bring that back to people and just don't destroy the system and lead us into anarchy and shit. As long as we're able to reinstill the types of ideologies and stuff, and I think that's what they're really trying to do with all the culture war stuff. They're trying to reinstill the American values in the younger generation that is fed up with the corruptness of their government right now, and basically that's all they've ever known as adults.
Meanwhile, they were moving a 125-year-old statue of Jefferson out of fucking the town hall in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, you got these people trying to make a movement. And again, this is where you say, you're white pilled or whatever. You're trying to be But they're dismantling the fucking place around us as we're fucking speaking into the echo chamber and jerking each other off and stuff, man. And there's a few guys like Tim and shit like that, Elon, that are trying to put their money where their mouth is, but it's a pretty fucking limited amount of people. You know what I mean? The vast majority of people trying to speak out are like you and I, where at most you're going to hit a couple hundred heads. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's definitely an uphill battle, no matter what way you go about it.
I mean, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle, but I think a lot of the stuff that we are seeing, on the left and stuff, like tearing down statues and all that type of stuff, with the youth and stuff like that. That's the college educated fucking kids. That's the kids whose parents had money. That's the social elites and stuff like that.
Right, but this isn't people tearing shit down. This is the fucking city removing a statue of one of the founders that's been there for over 125 years, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like kids up there trying to tear heads off and spray paint it. This is literally they came with a crane and removed that bitch. You know what I mean? And if you remember, Trump said this shit before he left office. He said they're gonna fucking be removing fucking Jefferson and Washington next. And fucking, there they are.
Like I said, they're going to try and repeal the First Amendment and the Second Amendment next year. That's what they're going with their wildest and wacky stuff because they know that they are losing, because they know that the jig is up. They know that the rest of that America is smelling their literal shit that they fucking piled onto America and stuff, and like I said, even if it's just a movement and stuff, it's they're doing all of this crazy, type shit because they know that they cannot kill an idea. They cannot kill a movement. The more you try to push back against it, the stronger it's going to grow. And like I said, a lot of this, the stuff that we're seeing with, the youth of today and stuff like that, we're not seeing the youth that are actually changing. You know why? Because they're too fucking busy having to fucking work all goddamn day. They're too busy not fucking, having to pay off fucking college debt and shit like that. They're too busy not fucking, full ride fucking scholarship on their daddy's dollar and shit like that. The type of people that actually matter, that actually produce in this country and shit, the meat and fucking bones of this country, those are the people that are fed up with it. Those are the people that are looking at their generation, their colleagues and stuff like that, their peers, and they're looking at them embarrassed, like, dude, like these fucking, my generation is fucking about cutting off their dicks and fucking saying they're women. Like, I think that it's being pushed all over right now, but I still think that that's probably, a bit of a fringe of the youth. I still think a lot of the youth, are fucking just assholes. They're not all about wokeness and fucking, saving everybody's feelings. I still think fucking teenage boys are still fucking teenage boys that are, making fun of fucking all these kids and shit. I think that's what, again, in schools and stuff, that's why they have to make all these extra rules and, that type shit, because of the fact that the kids that aren't fucking, part of affluence and, the people that aren't, part of this elitist culture and shit like that, I think they're fed up with it. I think they're probably embarrassed by their generation.
Right. I mean, none of that changes, like the fact that these fools, the left has complete power, media, education, fucking government. You know what I'm saying? Like the person that's the face of that movement right now has fucking 100 charges on him, bro. Again, it can now be held liable. They just reinstated the gag order. Like, I mean, dude, again, you could say they're throwing. I mean, dude, they don't even have to throw shit. It's already thrown. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
like,
I mean, so even if they do own the media and all that type of stuff, like, how many youths are actually out there fucking watching CNN,
But I mean, even here on YouTube, I mean, we have to watch what we say on here right now. You know what I mean? Like, they'll fucking cut us off right now, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the more you try and censor stuff, the more the youths are going to try and figure it out. The more you try and tell the kids don't look at this, the harder they're going to try and look.
Well, when Rumble stock goes over fucking, $6, I'll believe it.
Right. But yeah, like I say, I think we're winning, dude. I think fucking, The whole wokeness is dying. That's fucking done dealio pretty much. Like we said last year, I think fucking wokeness, it's an unsustainable ideology, and so therefore it's going to end up killing itself. And we're literally seeing that happen right now.
Right, but I don't even think that's what we're at war with, man. It's the bigger powers. Everything the WEF says, then the UN says, then the United States starts rolling out. The West as a whole, really. You know what I'm saying?
The establishment, the people, like I say, the people in power, that is
Right.
dying. That's a fucking dying, political movement. There's not too many people that are keen on fucking, the World Economic Forum, especially, like I say, the youth, the people that actually fucking matter, when it comes to the future of this country. Those people are not like, World Economic Forum. They're not all, a lot of the youth of today are not all fucking, yay, praise fucking, Saint Greta and shit like that. That's the youth of last generation.
But they're not the next in line for power, man. The next in line for power is the Fettermans, the AOCs, the shit like that, Doc. And they're all about that shit. That's what the Green New Deal is. And all the left supports that, man. You know what I'm saying? And fucking handfuls of Republicans vote for the shit too. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's you know what I mean? I mean,
but at the same time, like we said earlier, they're demagogues. They have zero principles whatsoever. They don't believe in fucking communism. If the youth believe in communism, they'll believe in communism. If their voters believe in communism, they'll believe in communism. But the moment they change,
man, it's not communism.
I know.
You're all these things into what I'm saying, and
the
higher powers. It's beyond communism. It's fucking the octopus, bro. You know what I mean? And you control these people.
That's another thing too. Globalism is dying.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, the World Economic Forum, all these types of things are dying. They're going on their deathbed. We are going to have a complete new world order. We're going to have a complete new, different, world view. The types of establishment, the globalist, elites and all that type of stuff, that's becoming a thing of the past. They're dying. They're dying out. And that's why they're trying to, seize as much control as they can right now, because they know that if they don't, well, their way is over.
I think the World Economic Forum and shit like that, it's economic forum for a reason. I think that money attracts the worst, and that's all it takes is to spread a little cash. People that you don't expect. I mean, fucking, that go there and speak and hang out with these fools. They do that shit for a reason. You know what I mean? It's not their buds or nothing like that. The only one you've ever seen go there and fucking shun those people was Elon, and that's because he's too rich. He can't be bought. You know what I mean? Everybody else, regardless of who it is there fucking blowing dicks, bro. And it doesn't matter, young, old, money corrupts, man. You know what I mean? And those are the people that'll make you rich. All you got to do is fucking sign on the dotted line, man. And you see it constantly, people selling out their entire countries. You got the prime minister of fucking Ireland fucking is coming out like we're rolling out laws to prosecute our own people because they're pointing out the fact that immigrants are killing our own people. You know what I mean? Like, it's across the whole West, man. And it's going to be the same here, dude. I mean, again, what did they tell you? That clip from the WEF, she said, you guys are going to have fucking hate speech laws. Dude, we're getting people put in jail here for fucking memes. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I think before the United States is governed by the World Economic Forum, I'll die.
Well, you're long past death then. I don't know what to say.
No, I mean outright. Like, we don't have a president. The World Economic
Forum. It won't be outright. That's not how they roll, man. That's not how they roll. They sit in their suits and hang out in Davos, and they tell fools what to do, and then they pass it down the chain. It's the pyramid, man. You know what I mean?
All right. So how did they control Donald Trump then?
They didn't. They just shut him down.
Right.
They just shut him down. They just made it to where he couldn't do a fucking thing, dude. He might as well have been a lame duck. And then everything they did do, they erased it in a day. For real.
How would they control Donald Trump plus Javier Milei?
Again, like that guy will probably just be dead. Not to mention, he just brought in an ex-fucking World Economic chief to come in as an economic advisor to the country. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's already showing that, you can be bought or you'll be killed. As well as I do. People in those countries, you go to prison or you get murdered. You know what I mean? Bolsonaro, I mean, the dude had to leave. And I mean, it was a Trump scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the dude that took his place came out of prison to take his place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's you know, they don't have to control you. They'll kill you or fucking jail you.
I don't know, man. I still like to believe that there's hope that we're not going to be under totalitarian control someday. I still like to think that people will at least fight for freedom, maybe just a skosh. I still like to believe that that as long as we continue to try, that things are going to end up working out. I try to believe that things are going to end up working out for the good. Honestly, what I think needs to be made aware of in the world and stuff, in philosophy even, is the fact that people are not good. Nobody, not a single human being on this earth is a good person. And we need to understand that. That's why I personally believe in capitalism, because of the fact that it is quite literally a way to make competition. It's not about everybody get everything. It's a system designed to understand that people are inherently going to want more for themselves, right? So therefore they're going to build more for themselves and therefore create more production, right? That's why I believe in capitalism. So I think a lot of people just need to come to the realization that people are always going to go for the self-serving choice, down to your presidents, down to your down to your politicians, down to the World Economic Forum leaders, down to police officers, down to your teachers, down to your boss, down to quite literally every single person on the face of the earth is going to work toward their own self-interest, right? And so that's quite frankly what I think we need to embed into human philosophy. If you don't ever trust anybody with that kind of power, nobody will ever have that kind of power. As long as fucking power is literally just a game of snatch it from this person, oh, kill that person, snatch it from them, oh, fucking outbid this person, snatch it from them. As long as it's constantly being thrown around through competition, if you cannot maintain it, you're out. I think if we come to that sort of philosophical realization in a universal sense, then I think that we will have a world that will fight for its own individual freedom to compete and create their own destinies.
Yeah.
At least that's my hope. Like I said, if we just have to understand that one inherent thing that we cannot get rid of, the basically the one defining human trait that really makes us human, and it's that basically that we are all going to work towards our own self-interest, and that's not a bad thing. That's that, like I say, it creates progress. The whole reason that fucking people like Elon Musk are fucking building shit to go to space is because of the fact that they want to fucking make more money from it. And that's a good thing. We shouldn't just work toward being content or toward being sustained. We should always try and strive for farther. We should always try and strive to get bigger.
Yeah, and people are self-serving, definitely to an extent, but we're also tribal. You know what I mean? And we've been since the dawn of man, dude. You know what I'm saying? It was like you're safer in numbers, yada yada, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I mean, think about it. I mean, I consider myself, fucking, nationalist, man. You know what I mean? And that's a tribal aspect for sure. And while of course I want the best for myself and my family, my country has to do good for that to happen. You know what I mean? Unless you're a shitbag at, the Shinzu fucking, burn down your joint to reign over the ashes type, right?
Right.
And so of course, that is the case. So, it's kind of a mixed bag, I guess. You know what I mean? And, there, of course, there's people that are always going to be willing to fight. But unfortunately, it takes more than just, groups of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. It can happen, right? The founding of our country, yada, yada. But I think it can be completely turned around with just enough people's fucking eyes open. And like, the old Bonhino rule, is it bad enough yet? I don't think so. You know what I mean? And it's going to take people missing some fucking meals or having to scrap at the store for fucking, bags of ice, or when the only thing that's left is fucking government handouts and you got fucking 30 immigrants in front of you. You know what I mean? Like that's, it's going to take that type of situation like you see on a smaller scale, in Democrat led cities right now, like Thanksgiving. Right. They ran out of Thanksgiving fucking, handout meals at like 11 o'clock when they opened at 10 because, the chicks out there saying we got here and the line was already around the block with fucking illegals.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And the key thing is these people here are illegal. It doesn't matter what you feel, your feelings and shit as far as, they're just regular peoples. I mean, so are our people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even if it's in small increments, these people pay tax. They're tax cattle as well. And if our tax dollars are going to be spent, I'd rather it be spent on them. You know what I mean?
Yep. Shit, I think somewhere in our philosophical recent history and stuff where we really kind of fucked up is this notion that it's universally good to give to the less fortunate. All right. And that, it's almost like it's actually an argument, the whole shit. I forget the dude's name. It's like Peter Singer or something like that, but it's like affluence, famine, and something else. But it's basically a whole like paper about how it's basically people of affluence's moral obligation to basically take their extra and give it to the poor, right? And basically that really has kind of led our philosophical society. It's basically the definition of foreign aid, right? It's the argument is basically if you happen to be walking past a pond or something like that and see a child drowning, but you're in a really nice suit, it would be morally reprehensible for you to continue walking past the drowning child because of the fact that you don't want to get your suit dirty, right? And therefore, basically, if you were to go to anybody, even people that don't know, if you were to go and they were to find out, well, the notion of, well, my suit was going to get dirty is not going to work for anybody at all, right? And so basically, that's the whole notion of basically or the whole argument of, well, if you have extra, just because it's going to hurt you a little bit to help somebody else and stuff like that may save their lives and stuff like that, then it's your moral obligation to do so. And I don't know. I obviously
I tend to think that it's people that have expendable, you know what I'm saying, and people that don't produce. That have that mode of thinking, you know what I'm saying? Fucking people that actually fucking, millions of other people do every day. We fucking go out here and slave for this shit with the government taking 30% of it. Like, dude, I'm gonna keep mine for me and mine. You know what I mean? And you can call that immoral, amoral, whatever you want to say. No, you don't have any empathies. No, I'm not a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? And I've had this conversation recently, with one of my closest family members, and they're basically telling me like I'm bad because my example was if your kids are starving, your kids are hungry and the neighbor kids are hungry and you got 2 fucking hot dogs, you're going to feed them to your kids or you're going to give them to the fucking neighbors, man. Fuck the neighbors, bro. You know what I mean? And I mean, and that's the way it is. And that's the same way, like you're saying, I mean, it creates a dependence. It's the don't feed the animals type of situation. Foreign aid rarely gets to the people, and we've said before, it's taking money from poor people in a rich country, giving it to the fucking rich people in the poor country, and so on and so forth, man. I mean, it's it's all a fucking scam. There's a difference between charity and coercion, and forcing people to give the fruits of their labor away is not moral in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Absolutely. And that's why I say, I think we need a complete reevaluation of where our definition of morality has gone, within, recent decades and stuff. And, the whole, I think a lot of that type of mentality and morality and stuff like that is really designed for, kind of like agricultural societies and stuff like that. Like in, primitive societies, nowadays, if you have too much, if you have a surplus of food, well, guess what you could do with that? You could go ahead and fucking sell it and convert that food into fucking cash that you can go ahead and sit on and fucking store for later, And so that's basically, the type of society that we've developed. And, that's really why they want to eliminate the middle class altogether. That's why it needs to just basically be, rulers and fucking the peasants. Basically, that's the way that they want it to be. They want it to basically be, if everybody's equal, you're all equally fucking poor and fucking ruled by the people in power. That's why they want to get rid of the middle class, because the middle class is people that think like me and you, like you were just saying, like fucking shit. If I got 2 motherfucking hot dogs and my kids are fucking hungry and the neighbor kids are hungry, well, sorry, buddy, my kids got to eat. And shit, that's basically the mentality of the middle class, right? And it's basically you're always trying to just stay above water, basically. You're not necessarily rich to where you're like, it's not going to affect me if I just give away an extra fucking couple $1,000s here and there, And then again, you're not necessarily poor, where you're the type of person that's like, like, please, I need all the government help I could get. I need fucking all the gimme that's that you can give me, And so that's why they got to eliminate the middle class, so they could get rid of this type of thinking, basically, that it's not all about class struggle. That basically the whole of fucking human nature has been all about competition. Individual competition, fight for survival.
Yeah, it's the old switcheroo, man. They want you to think that the American dream is fucking government employment or dependence, and fucking I forgot the shitbag that was out there saying it, the head of the education fucking department on stage, saying like Ronald Reagan said, we're here from
oh man,
dude, you know what I mean? And dude, it's like I said earlier, bro, it's for real. And I say it on a regular basis. It sucks because it deadens the fucking meaning, and a lot of people haven't even read the damn book, I'm sure, at this point. But dude, it's Orwellian as fuck, man. It really is, bro. It's eyes and ears, believe what I'm telling you. And there's quite a few millions of people that were alive and remember Ronald Reagan saying those fucking words, man. And obviously, it wasn't in a positive way. The most horrible fucking words in the English language. Oh, like almost verbatim, I think. You know what I mean?
The 9 scariest words in the English language. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Right? Yeah, just completely spin it. Like, turn it on its head, man. Like, and actually, what he really meant to say was,
I'm here for the government.
Right. Oh man, dude, absolutely fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, ridiculous shit, dude.
Dude. All right, man. You ready to talk about old Derek Chauvin?
Sure.
All right, let me go ahead and pull up this article real quick. Alrighty. So, from the Gateway Pundit, you can't make this stuff up. Derek Chauvin's attacker, John Turskak, is a former FBI informant. See, Derek Chauvin was assaulted and imprisoned by John Turskak, an individual with a complicated past. As the Gateway Pundit previously reported, federal prosecutors disclosed that 52-year-old John Turskak stabbed Derek Chauvin 22 times at the Federal Correction Institution in Tucson, Arizona. The rapid response of correctional officers averted a more tragic outcome as they intervened before Turskak could murder Chauvin. After the attack, Chauvin required life-saving measures before being transported to the hospital. Following this jailhouse stabbing, the FBI initiated an investigation. Turskak, in his confession to FBI agents, indicated that he deliberately chose Black Friday for the assault as a symbolic gesture toward the Black Lives Matter movement, which gained significant attention following the death of George Floyd. He also referred to the black hand symbol, which is associated with the Mexicans mafias. See, Turskak was charged with attempted murder, assault with intent to commit murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault resulting in serious bodily injury following the incident, according to the DOJ. Now it has been revealed that Turskak is a former gang member and an FBI informant, according to a report from the LA Times in 2001. Turskak has a complex history involving both criminal activity and cooperation with law enforcement in the late 1990s. In the late 1990s, Turskak led a faction of the Mexican Mafia in the Los Angeles area known by the nickname Stranger. His involvement with the Mexican Mafia was significant as he became an FBI informant in 1997. In his role, Turskak provided vital information about the gang, including recordings of conversations with other members and associates of the Mexican Mafias. While working undercover as an FBI informant, Turksat committed numerous crimes. His cooperation with the FBI was instrumental in an investigation that led to the indictment of over 40 alleged members of the Mexican Mafia. During his tenure as an informant, John Turksak's relationship with the FBI deteriorated as he continued to engage in criminal activities such as drug dealing, extortion, and orchestrating assaults, according to Fox 5 Vegas. Court documents revealed that Turksak was involved in planning attacks against rival gang members and even attempted to assassinate a leader of an opposing Mexican mafia faction. He himself also became a target within these gang conflicts. In 2001, Turksak entered a guilty plea for charges of racketeering and conspiracy to murder a rival gang member. He could have received a maximum of life in prison, but was only sentenced to 30 years in prison due to his connection with the FBI. Turksak defended his actions, stating that his criminal behavior was not a choice but a necessity for survival. He recounted to news outlets at his sentencing in 2001 that he had communicated this to FBI agents who advised him to do whatever was necessary. Right? That's the end of it, man. So. Yeah, fucking
good times, man. It's what timing that his fucking appeal was just turned down, and then fucking a dude associated with the FBI stabs him 22 fucking times. And like I said, you never want to support the police, but the left pushes us further in that direction every day. And this dude, while he may be a complete douche, soldier, bro, 22 fucking shots, right. And he's still fucking rolling around. Fuck.
Yeah, damn, man.
Right.
So I wonder what he's using. Fucking little fence post or something, little poker. Yep. But yeah, right. So fucking part of me wants to think that a lot of the stuff about fucking like he recorded conversations with other members of the Mexican Mafia and fucking was responsible for putting 40 alleged members of the Mexican Mafia behind bars. I feel like a lot of the reason they put that in there is to get it circulating around the prison, possibly.
He's a snitch and shit.
Yep, because in federal prison you don't get access to your paperwork, right? So in state prison, you walk around with your paperwork everywhere, right? As soon as you hit a new yard, the head of the yard is going to ask you for your paperwork. He's going to read through everything, find out exactly who you are, what you did, who you told on. Fucking, they're going to find out everything about you, right? In federal prison, that's not the case. In federal prison, you don't have any of your paperwork with you, and basically, you just have to take people at their word for who they are, right? So a lot of there's a good possibility that a lot of the people in prison there are not aware of the fact that this guy is in fact a major snitch, like extreme, like far snitch, like down to the point where he recorded conversations and had 40 of his fellow gang members locked up. So there's a part of me that thinks that they probably put that in there for that, right?
Yeah, man, fucking tying up loose ends all around.
Right.
You fucking deal with Chauvin and deal with the weapon. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, fucking. I don't know, man. Fucking. Definitely some crazy shit. Fucking.
Yeah, you could get all conspiracy out if you really wanted to. You know what I mean?
Do it up, man. Fucking. Shit.
I mean, to me, this guy's been used as an example again. I'm not a supporter of the fucking police, dude. And people say, we watched the videos. Right, we did watch the video, man. Right, but I mean, and he knelt on him. But, dude, he was not on his fucking neck. You see, now there's a third autopsy that's come out, man. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, dude, it's a fucked up story here. And you got, whistleblowers supposedly, allegedly, coming out and saying that they were forced to change their fucking stories or pressured to, by politicians there in the state. And, why the fuck did they put him here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, right. I mean, if they're saying it was for his protection, if it was supposed to be a protective situation, why was he put in a situation where he could get stabbed 22 times, man? You know what I'm saying? And, and then the toxicology report, of course, I mean, we know there's a real contributor. The dude was already on the ground saying he couldn't breathe beforehand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, come on, right? It's a trap. I
Right.
mean, they're just using them to quell the fucking the Marxists, dude.
Yep. Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. They're just fucking offering them up as a sacrifice, basically,
Yeah.
to the lords of woke.
Right, and that's these the police out here with the blue line and shit. Hopefully, at some point, some of those fools realize that they're just being used as political muscle and they're fucking pawns. I mean, you got to
Yep.
think a chess piece, right? And you're expendable. The pawns are
Yep.
always fucking expendable, dude.
So I think that's kind of like what that BLM leader was talking about. He's basically starting to realize, that they're basically being played.
Yeah, but I heard that the actual Rhode Island chapter had come out and basically said that he was no longer affiliated with them and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, like
Yeah.
Matt Walsh was talking about it earlier, man.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing with the black vote and shit could probably just be fucking an optics type thing, to basically get a lot of the black, because really Trump, I think there's a lot of people out there that closet like Trump, like I think
Right,
just
but
Trump's
again, though, I also think it's a trap. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because I mean, now you got a lot of fools out here, not only fucking like, that are saying why would he do that? Why the fuck is Trump support? Taking he's honored to have BLM support, right? But then you have a whole nother team of fools making themselves look like fucking idiots by sticking up for the fact that he said that shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Well, they didn't really endorse that because they came out and said this guy's no longer affiliated. Now that's the excuse, like some of the fucking the Q goons are using and shit. Well, they didn't really endorse them. That doesn't
Right.
change the fact that he was told they did, and he came out and fucking publicly posted that he was honored to have their support. Like, what the
Right.
fuck, dude? These are people that help fuck up your presidency, son.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the same time, fucking that's really a lot of people, like the people that we were talking about earlier, fucking Chris Cuomo, fucking Michael Rappaport, these are all people that, were staunchly against him. And, I
Yeah, but
mean,
the
if,
BLM was out burning down fucking Starbucks and stuff, man. Killing police officers and shit, bro. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, I hate that I feel like I have to keep saying that, bro. Like I feel like the left pushes us to, that side. Like I don't want to defend police officers, but I find myself doing it quite often this year, man. That's unfortunate.
Right. Yeah. Fucking, and it's really just because the fucking left is so ridiculous with it, man. It's kind of almost, you got to be just to be the contrarian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what you guys are forcing us to do, man.
Right, man. The fucking the Overton window, dude. It's not working out like they think.
Right.
You're pushing
Yeah.
me more to the right, man.
Yeah, that's we're having a fucking giant cultural fracturing. That's what I say. Fucking, we are actually being pushed farther to the right just because of the fact that everything's getting so wacky, and all the cards are being reshuffled around. But I don't know. So what's some of the stuff because I haven't really been watching too much of the social medias and stuff. But what are some of the people saying about I guess Trump accepting the endorsement?
Like I mean, like I said, you have two factions. You got some that are melting down over it. Like, why the fuck would he do that? It's BLM. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, these are fucking Marxists, dude. Yada yada. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the DeSantis crowd, of course, is using that as fucking fodder. You know what I mean? Like, Trump's fucking honored to have BLM endorsement. You know what I mean? He's a fucking sellout. And then the other side, that the forever Trumpers are trying to defend it, like I said, with the fact, like, well, they came out and said that they're not really affiliated with that guy, so BLM didn't really endorse him, man. And fucking, it's about gaining votes and yada yada. And that is a way to look at it, of course, if it actually pans out that way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, the fucking, your enemy is not your friend, no matter what. Like, it's just not real. It's not real.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like they say, if I can, you definitely don't have to back them up, or if I could say, like actually BLM, they're good people now, but I mean, just to accept their endorsement, or to accept, somebody basically, oh, we've turned the other cheek, I guess, again, like you said, the dude was apparently fucking ousted from BLM in the first place. Really, I don't think it's necessarily it could have nothing to do with actual social politics. It could just be their individual politics. Like maybe he got fucking kicked at BLM or some shit like that. They had some infighting over there. They ousted him, and basically, and now he's basically, no, man, fuck you guys. You guys have never fought the black community in the first place. Which is obviously true. And basically he just turns around, and just because of the fact that he has, the three letters BLM tied to his name in any way, that they're just going to basically, BLM endorses Trump. And again, it's snapshots and sound bites. If there's just a headline
but
that says,
the dude, I don't know if you've seen the snapshot though, or the sound bite.
yeah,
Like it was, the dude, the dude flat out asked him, the interviewer, like, so you're still affiliated with him, right? And he said, yeah, I'm affiliated with BLM. Like, I mean, basically
right.
like saying like, yeah, I'm speaking for my chapter or whatever, you know what I mean? But then come to
Yeah.
find out he wasn't. Like, it's a fucking whole sham. But the point is like Trump wrote a fucking, a paragraph on Truth, like literally saying he's honored to have their support. It's one thing to be like, okay, I accept their endorsement or some shit like that. But, you're going to do
I didn't know all that. See, I didn't know he wrote a whole paragraph in response.
Yeah.
If it was just like a quick fucking like Truth, like, oh, like, I'm honored they decided to endorse me and stuff like that. Thank you very much. Then that's totally understandable. But now a whole paragraph. Okay, I'm starting to see it in a different light now.
Right. It is what it is, dude. Trump always does fucking goofy shit. He's a fucking comedian as far as I'm concerned. Master troll, bro. And, I tend to overlook stupid shit, man. I just want to get fucking, shit move forward, dude. Get a little fucking normalcy happening. And regardless of the whole last, 2 years or whatever, 3 years of fucking, the adults are back in the room. We obviously see that's not the case unless you consider, the adults an old doddering fucking overspending fucking idiot that's, in danger of fucking breaking a hip at any fucking moment. You know what I'm saying? And, And of course we're gonna get the argument, well, Trump's only 3 years younger, dude. There's a massive cognitive difference. Trump recently took a cognitive test, apparently, aced it. Who knows? He could have bought the doctor or whatever, bro. But the point is, she's out there like, Darren Biden, take one. Let's compare results, huh? You know what I'm saying? Right. And of course, Biden's not even gonna not even gonna acknowledge it, dude. It's just like previous. I mean, you've seen, during his previous basement campaign, he was asked about it on fucking, CNN or MSNBC or whatever. And he asked the guy, well, I'm going to ask you if you're on cocaine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I could find the truth, the Trump truth. I'm always trying to see if I could find the truth, but I mean, I'm trying to see if I can find Trump's truth real quick of the. This motherfucker truths a lot. Yeah, I'm still scrolling, and I'm still not even past 12 hours ago. Yeah, this motherfucker posts a whole lot.
It's like a 4-liner or something.
Yeah. Either way. But yeah, like I say, if in the
to me, that's like like when David Duke tried to endorse him, and he said, "Fucking dude, I don't want the endorsement, man." You know what I'm saying? It's the same way for me, dude. It's what I mean, right. A communist or a Nazi, either endorsement, fuck off. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Shit, fucking, these racial fucking groups and shit like that shouldn't be allowed to fucking exist in the first place, dude. Fucking if there's like the argument is all the time, fucking how is BLM allowed to exist? How is the NAACP allowed to exist? How are all these organizations allowed to exist? But yet, if you were to make a association for the advancement of white people, it would be considered a racist group or a hate group or something like that, right?
Right. They had some guys do that in Texas. They set up a college fund for white people, like versus like the black college fund, and the state shut them down within like 6 months.
Yep. And if you really want to actually, if I could break it down, fucking the whole civil rights fucking movement and shit, the whole fucking you're not allowed to discriminate against people, I mean, that goes in both directions. It means you're not allowed to, hinder people based on their race. You're not necessarily allowed to fucking single people out based on their race and fucking, advance them as well either. Right. So therefore, why is there even allowed to be especially race-based groups or fucking, especially gender-based groups and shit, like the whole ladies night at the club type thing where fucking, if you have a vagina, you don't have to pay as much money to get in, or you don't have to pay any money to get in, that type of shit, like I actually believe that's been, ruled unconstitutional on several occasions through lawsuits and shit like that. But
it's terrible because that attracts men, dude. You know what
right.
I'm saying? You have a ladies' night, that means you're going to fill up with chicks, which means dudes are going to come spend money. That's bar
Right.
sign.
I mean,
I
I understand the common sense, like marketing aspect and stuff, but I just mean in the whole legal aspect of discrimination or being discriminatory or stuff like that, or racially dividing and stuff like that. It's technically something that is really unconstitutional. So really, how are these groups even allowed to exist in the first place? And it's really because America is very much racist, and not so much, not necessarily in the way that the fucking the libs try and point out, but in the actual like CRT type way, where basically we used to, the whole civil rights era was about like, I have a dream that people be judged off the context of their character rather than the color of their skin and shit. That is basically the what the whole civil rights era was actually about. Basically now what it's come to is the exact opposite. If you're colorblind, then that means that you're racist. You actually need to understand people's struggles and this and that type shit. And so really, America has become racist in the fact that now all we see is race. Or in the same way that since the whole civil rights era and stuff like that, you can't point out truths about any other racial community, right? So say for example, the whole gun violence debate right now, right? There's all these huge numbers of people that die from gun violence, youths, young people dying from gun violence, teenagers, kids, children dying from gun violence, right? And if you actually look at the statistics, it's disproportionately affecting the black community at a rate about 10 to 1 to any other community, right? And if you look at the incarceration rates and stuff like that as well, it's also disproportionately the black community, right? But if you point out that, well, maybe it's black culture that leads to a lot of this gun violence and a lot of this criminality and stuff like that, well, then you're racist, right? It's like I say, it's not necessarily just discriminating. It's not necessarily just hindering somebody. It's also basically advancing people, or basically being partial toward one racialized group, right? And basically the generation after generation after generation of looking the other way and basically like, oh, it's just they had it rough for the last 200 years or whatever, if I can, it's all that type of stuff has, again, it's hurt the black community more than anything, based off of the fact that we have not been able to, because of the fact that we're so fucking racially fucking we're so racist, we're afraid to be called a racist, like that type shit, and so therefore we are not going to point out anything that any other group of color does. We're not going to point out any of the actual statistical shit, because then we'd be racist to do so, right? So therefore we're just going to fucking completely ignore them and just pretend everything's okay and just affirm everything they do. Matter of fact, yeah, I like this song. What is this? Is this Lil Wayne? Like that's basically what America has become since the civil rights movement.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be like, like a social group, right? Celebrating ethnicity or what have you, you know what I'm saying? But it's totally different when it's a commerce type of situation, and especially when it becomes a militant situation like we see in BLM and the current whole Palestine situation fucking in our own country. You know what I mean? And it's you could see by some of the actions on the border that it's not far from other groups doing the same shit. And so it's like you want to support freedom, but like I've talked about before, with like guardrails on liberty and whatnot, that freedoms are used against you. The freedom to celebrate your ethnicity and but still be a part of America has been polluted and diluted now to this is it. It's militant spinoffs that fucking are plotting the downfall of America, rather than celebrating themselves being in America. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. Yeah.
it's subversive shit. And especially there shouldn't be special representation in government, like a black caucus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's fucking straight trash, man. Because like you just pointed out, there sure as hell couldn't be a white caucus, because then you'd be being called the KKK and whatnot. You know what I mean? And it's definite reverse racism in this joint, regardless of the fucking screaming fucking heads in this bitch saying, you have to have power to be racist. That's bullshit. And in reality, these people have all the power anyway, because like you said, if an opposing group is going to self-censor, you hold the fucking power. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you can lose your job, be booted from social media, so on and so forth, over fucking using your words, you definitely don't hold power, man. And I said a long time ago, political correctness was code for white genocide, man. And again, I said this like 10 years ago, and people then were looking at me like, you're fucking crazy, you're racism. You know what I mean? But here we are. And that's what self-censoring is. It's political correctness, man. And it's fucking, it's turning into white genocide, man. And, obviously I'm sitting here, with a Mexican man, but we're, as whites in the West, we're losing our home countries, man.
Yeah.
And I know people like to fucking pull the whole, this isn't your country. Dude, we'll go into it, right? Every country on the fucking planet has been fought for, bled over, and killed on, man. You know what I mean? And nothing, it changes the fact is like, this isn't any different.
Right. And that brings us to this point right here. Like you said, like in American culture it's being washed away, and a lot of it is this right here. Record 50 million immigrants in the U.S. spiked by illegal surge under Biden. Right, so the foreign-born population of citizens in America has reached nearly 50 million, or 15% of the country's total population, both record highs. Right, so 15% of the population of America right now was not born here, is not fucking
That's why you got
loyal to
that
this
fucking
country.
Snake Newsom in that fucking sham debate talking about immigration's at its lowest in decades.
Right. Yeah. And fucking absolute fucking bullshit, dude. But so according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the surge has come faster than expected, and during the U.S.-Mexico border crisis sparked by President Joe Biden's liberal policies. The immigrant population was not expected to hit 15% until 2033, according to a new analysis from the Center for Immigration Studies. What's more, numbers are likely higher because the, quote, current population survey of foreign-born residents doesn't account for those who slipped in unseen, aka the gotaways. Right? That's a whole lot of fucking people, man. And that's, like, this is a literal invasion. This is quite literally
and people got to understand that. Yeah, and this isn't our fellow, fucking, Americans, as far as, coming from Mexico or South America. It's them, but it's also fucking from everywhere. Fucking China, the Middle East,
right?
Fucking, Afghanistan, fucking, I mean, everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, it's like we say, when it comes to asylum pertains to the nearest nation that is capable of taking in asylum seekers, right? So these people coming from these African fucking nations, these people coming from all over the fucking world, from China, from all these different places, they're not asylum seekers, right? They're people that want to come to America for, as Salty likes to put it, they're gimme dats. Right, that's all they're here for. They're not here to become part of American society. They're not here to to have a better life. They're not here for freedom and to achieve the American dream. They're here for the gimme dats. That's it, and that's what's it's intentional. Like it says, most of this was done by Joe Biden. It wasn't expected to hit this high until 2033. Biden has put us a full decade ahead of where they expected to be, right? So their whole replacement theory, their whole we can replace them thing, Biden is basically putting that into a extreme overdrive. You know,
Your
again,
sound's fucking up.
shit. Let's see.
Sounds good right now.
Yeah. Still good?
But yeah, dude, and you post anything about Agenda 2030, like around fucking the inner zones, and you get these fucking, foreign fact checkers. And if for anyone that thinks this is conspiracies, and just like I was saying earlier about the WEF and the fucking UN, they roll it out across the globe. Fucking go download the UN Charter, man. And there's quite a few articles in there, but you find the one on fucking replacement population, and it's not theory, it's their literal, it's instructions. You know what I'm saying? And it talks about percentages and what they're bringing in for birth rates, yada yada, and it's literal. And like I said, this shit rolls downhill, and we're the world at this point's an oligarchy, and we're the corporate arm, man.
Yep. If I can, let's see, but more than half, 2.5 million of the 4.5 million increase in the foreign-born population since January 1 is likely due to illegal immigration. If adjusted for those missed by the survey, the increase larger. The blockbuster report, written by CIS research director Stephen Camarota and CIS demographer Karen Ziegler, said, while the fucking apocalypse, man, while the media have focused on the nearly daily records of illegal border crossings and Biden's refusal to manage it, the census numbers show the impact of the opening border across the country. This can be seen in this bullet point provided by Camarota and Ziegler. Since President Biden took office in January 2021, the foreign-born population has grown by 4.5 million, larger than the individual population of 25 U.S. states. Right, so that is just the Joe Biden administration. Fucking 4.5 million people that he has imported into the United States and flown all over the damn country. I'm sure he has several fucking children in his basement right now. It's a literal invasion. They got the federal government actually coming in and cutting open sections in the barbed wire fencing and actually holding it up so thousands of people can pour in. We got
they're literally bringing in fucking more than 100,000 a month, just about 100,000 more a month than what was sneaking in under previous administrations, man.
Yep, and it's a complete fucking disaster, and it's exactly what the Biden administration wants. They want to bring in this entire population, and I think a lot of it too is. Because it's not like they can necessarily vote right off the bat. If the Biden administration has their way with it, they'll definitely be able to. But the whole thing I think that they want to do is basically get these people into these places that are kind of used to having it, like these purple states like Arizona, for example, and basically get it to play on the heartstrings and stuff. Basically, a lot of the people in Arizona tend to look at them as asylum seekers and stuff like that, and they actually tend to look at them as less fortunate and stuff like that. It's really the conservative part of Arizona that actually looks at them in the way that we do, as an invading fucking army. But I think a lot of it is really just to kind of strike up some sentiment in some of these more or less kind of battleground states, possibly.
Yeah, and you hear like Sticks, for instance, man, talking about he doesn't see that these people that are moving from California or whatnot are affecting the red states they're moving to, and that's complete fucking bullshit, right? I mean, Arizona, right. Prime example. You got all these people that have moved in, turned the state fucking purple. We got some leftists freaking out in our state government here, and those are the main people that you see riding around this bitch with stickers like no humans are illegal and shit. But, as usual, you go to their neighborhoods and they got fucking, walls or double walls. You know what I
Right.
mean? Gated communities and shit like that, so they don't even have to deal with
Security
their
guards.
voting habits. Right? These people are destroying the country, man. And like again, to bring up the DeSantis debate, how they're exchanging on who left whose state to go to the other more and whatnot. And as Ron DeSantis being the governor of Florida, I would not be fucking happy about thousands of Californians moving into my goddamn state.
Right.
Regardless if it's fucking Newsom's father-in-law, I don't care if it's Newsom's father. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I know I cannot drive. I can't sit at a stoplight without seeing a California license plate. There's everywhere I look, there's California license plates all over the fucking place out here, man. It's it's getting ridiculous, and it's even if they are fleeing these Democrat run shitholes, they don't view it as the Democrats' fault, right? They view it as social and economic issues, right? The fucking the buzzwords and all that type of shit. They never actually they never actually take any sense of any semblance of self accountability for any of it. You know what I mean? And so that's why they're fleeing, but they're going to flee and just basically not join these other states. They're going to infect these other states. Right? They're not going to come in and basically assimilate. They're going to come and infect
make enclaves,
and that's right. It's basically a micro scale of what we have going on with the border, except on a state to state level, as opposed to a globe to fucking one nation scale.
They're trying to make it one, dude. They're trying real hard, man. That's what the mix is about, dude.
Yep.
One world's governments, man. The motherfucking reset. I recently posted a clip. It's fucking Klaus Schwab's explaining it himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's the killer. You always hear again, it's conspiracies. And before I always used the photo of him holding the book. But now, I got the greatest clip of all time, dude. It's the fucking lizard lord himself explaining it. It fucking doesn't get any better, man. Shut them down, son. It's not a conspiracy. They are replacing you rapidly, right? And if not replacing you, they're just going to push you down. Like you said, it's a credo of fucking shared misery and fucking envy. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to think that you can overcome it without a little bit of tyrannical fucking movements, man. And dude, I'm telling you, Alejandro Mayorkas is one of the slimiest people in our government, and this dude should be hung on national television for fucking treason, man. And dude, it's a literal fucking controlled destruction. And again, for anyone, dude, please roll out there and download the fucking UN Charter. I promise you, you'll be shocked, but you won't be disappointed.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, man. Freaking. Like I say, I like to maintain that there's going to be a big pushback and a fight in 2024. They're definitely
People are trying.
You're
seeing populism come up, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're seeing populist fucking figures like Trump. Like they want to kill him or put him in jail. In Germany, they're fucking debanking him and fucking trying to ban his party and fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got, with Geert, you have the opposition parties basically saying, we're not going to work with you and shit. You're not going to be able to build a coalition. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's fucking, every time you think you get a victory, dude, they do something that sets it back basically to where it was beforehand, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Trump, I mean, you see the movement where it's like things are starting to go his way in court and shit, and over the last couple of days, it's all been reversed, bro.
Shit. I don't know. I think fucking, like I say, it's going to come to blows. It's I don't like. I don't think there's
bordering on extremesies, man. Don't be bordering, dude. You got to remember now. Fucking, we got old Stefan Molyneux, over 1 billion downloads on YouTube. Spent almost 15 years on here. Pointed out the bell curve, statistical facts, like you were pointing out earlier, as far as racial statistical facts with crime and whatnot. And the man's banned from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you know
Yeah.
it's dangerous to fucking point to truth these days, bro. Like
Yeah.
like you said, I would love a white pill myself. It would be fucking great, man. But I don't see it coming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can. It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be
I think.
DeSantis versus Newsom.
Right. Probably, man. Yeah. But then again, at the same time, I mean, really, taking out Trump type of a course correction that I could actually, see, working out. But it's going to work out in our favor. Obviously, it's going to work out, and basically, it's going to be either DeSantis or Newsom. It'd probably end up being DeSantis, even if it is DeSantis. As I've stated, many times in multiple videos already, he is going to be beholden to the Uniparty. Trump. They're making an example out of Trump, right? And if fucking Trump, with all of his fucking actual, with his gusto, with his fucking vigor, with his never say die attitude, if he was not able to overcome the fucking deep state and shit, there is zero possible fucking chance Vivek Ramaswamy or fucking fucking Ron DeSantis or fucking anybody,
Rob DeSantis,
RFK, right? There's no way that any of these other people are going to
RFK,
be
they'll
able
just murder him
to
out
stand
like
up.
the rest of his family. Fucking.
Right. they won't even try. They won't even try with him. They'll just like give him the usual. Give him the Kenny
Right.
special.
Oh, fucked up, man.
They won't even get creative with his. Yeah. If I honestly think that the only way that they're able to get back to a sense of normalcy, or basically the way that things were, or a way that we could just continue moving forward, kicking the can, is by taking out Trump. And other than that, even if Trump does get elected, as again we've said before, man, dude, he's got a fucking crumbling economy. He's got geopolitical fucking issues out the ass. Basically, all the fucking peace that he made, during his time, completely undone.
Yeah.
He's got a complete fracturing of the civilization domestically, and not to mention who knows what type of fucking domestic terrorist fucking bullshit Antifa is going to end up doing. And we also got the Democrats that are going to be going against him. As per legally, we got the Uniparty. We got half the fucking Republicans that are going to be going against him. In the Congress and the Senate. Like, even if Trump does get elected, it's really all that it would be is a kind of like symbolic type thing, I guess. There's so fucking much, and then you also got to keep in mind, he's also got to fire people.
Right.
He's got to axe.
And he's
got to axe half the government. He's got to fix the economy. Yeah, right. It's they say that to me is really the only kind of thing that would that is blackpilling is if Trump gets taken out and he's not and basically it ends up falling back to business as usual. Let's get back to kicking the can down the road. Or if Trump ends up winning and fucking it's just going to be too much and we're not, I don't know,
and restricted by both sides.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep. And it's just going to be a more fun again. But the whole thing is, if Trump actually does win again, that, like we said, MAGA, it's not it's a movement, But if Trump, this all hinges on whether or not Trump wins, right? If Trump wins, then basically that could just be a symbolic win. MAGA prevailed, like in all the rest of the MAGA ideology, like in the Gates, the fucking Byron Donaldsons, the fucking Ramaswamy's, fucking all these other people, these MAGA people and stuff, these America First people, it's going to be an ideology that's going to be able to prevail, and then it's a multi-headed fucking beast at that point, But
go fucking full populism, dude. Fucking Ron Paul, head of
Right.
Treasury. Andrew Napolitano, dude, fucking AG, bro. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Tucker Carlson, fucking VP, dog. Fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking Tim Pool, press
Yep.
secretary. Fucking, let's go full populism out this bitch, bro. Get a staff in there that's going to tell
Shit.
everyone to fuck off, man. You know what I mean? Get
Out
10
of
Kayleigh
all,
McEnany's, dog.
right. Out of all of the stuff on the plate, on Trump's plate and shit, honestly, just fucking cutting as much fucking of these useless bureaus as possible, and getting rid of corruption. It's the top priority that I really think that Trump needs to deal with. Because again, if after Trump's 4 years, you're like, cool, he fixed the economy. Well, people's faith in government is restored, right? Therefore, they're just going to be able to go back to the whole uniparty thing again. But they're not going to be able to, go back to, the whole MAGA movement and stuff. Without the establishment part of there, what he needs to do is basically get in there and dismantle the corruption that basically keeps populism from actually being able to thrive in government. And that's what he needs to happen, so that way he can pass the crown down to the next America First candidate, and that way it doesn't just end up dying after his 4 years of basically being held up and stifled at every turn.
Right. Yeah, Matt Gaetz, 2028, bro.
Right. Yeah. The only way that that's even a possibility is if one, Trump wins as a symbolic gesture that MAGA is effective and MAGA is what the people of America want, and then he needs to get in and he needs to fucking get rid of the corruption that would keep the next people out. He needs to get rid of all the powers. The powers that basically give government this level of power to basically decide who can and who can't run.
Yeah, but you see already, dude, like the fucking the left and their media melting down over that shit. Like, he's gonna come in and get rid of some of the bureaucrats. He's a fucking goddamn Mussolini. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, insane, bro. Like, he's not just talking about firing him. He's gonna execute him, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are just in complete meltdown 24/7, bro. It's a fear fest, man. And that's what I hate about when we talk about this shit, and you're like, I'm white pilling it. I'm telling you, I don't really want to say black pilled. I still say red pilled, man. You know what I mean? Because I believe, I said, the Bongino rule just isn't bad enough yet, right? But ultimately, man, it's pretty bleak, especially on their side. The sky's always falling. Everything's fucking oppression, death. We're all gonna die, dude. The sky's falling. So I mean, regardless of any down you have or doubt or fuck, shit's gonna be fucked up for a while. Just know that in their head, things are much fucking worse than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. But then again, with the whole Bongino rule, things aren't bad enough yet. But like we say all the time, things at least people are steadily moving toward one direction. There's not too many people that are waking up and there's not too many MAGA people that are waking up and like, you know what, man, fucking Trump's an asshole, man. Actually, Biden is my fucking candidate. Nobody is fucking saying that. Not a soul on the face of this fucking nation is waking up. I really want Biden. Nobody's saying that. It's
there's been a few jump ship I know of for DeSantis though.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's still moving in the same direction ultimately because fucking Ron's MAGA light. You know what I mean? But it's an anomaly, right? Is our most comical fucking example. Fucking he's all about Meatball Ron at this point, but I don't know if you've seen him talking on Instagram about doing his little deal about the fucking debate, but it was pretty hilarious, man. He thought fucking DeSantis was getting down, son.
Yeah, fucking like I said, dude, the whole fucking debate was like dry and fucking rated G,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that was the highlights that I saw. That was the highlights that I saw that were fucking dull and rated G, dude. Like, imagine watching the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. The zingers were fucking, well, your father-in-law lives here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's as hard as it got, man. Like, and you know, anything that dude could have said, he could have called him on his bullshit, stuff like that. Even when he's like, we're the 5th largest economy in the world, he'd be like, nope, dude, under your tenure, it's been fucking downgraded to the 7th, and you've had your credit rating downgraded as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fucking destroying the joint, son. And that's the way he should have been. You know what I mean? He did say you're destroying it as far as once one of our greatest cities, now it's covered in doo-doo. But again, that was the harshest fucking shit that came out, man. Like, I would have pointed out, he's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Fucking, you're shutting down people's businesses while yours stay open. You're you know, restricting people from leaving their house, but you're partying at a restaurant without a mask that you fucking enforced on everyone else, and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, he could have been cracking them, dude.
Shit.
You know, regardless of Hannity's questions.
Shit, personally, if it was me up there in Ron DeSantis' fucking high heels, I would have fucking tiptoed my ass across the stage and remove the lizard mask. Take off.
And just mess up his hair and walk back, dude.
Right.
That'd be fucking classic, dude.
Yeah, strut back.
Right.
Yeah,
I like that.
The DeSantis strut.
Right, dude. It's hard to walk on fucking little stilts.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah,
man,
dude, that is pretty fucked up, though. It's basically like you got to be 6'2" or better to be president and stuff, right?
That's right. Yeah, they can. Old Krispy Kreme's got him fucking horizontally. He's got him fucking high and fucking wide. He could quite literally eclipse him. Fucking big man societies.
Right.
But so anyway, man, we're coming up on about 2 hours 20 minutes here.
That's a party, son.
Ready to wrap it on up, right?
I mean,
yeah.
You know, man. You know.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you guys stopping by. See, we got 7 people up in the Rumble chat. We actually have a couple comments. Like in Mad Max World, Drew 17 US 76, Mad Max World TV, and then he also said sick shit. By the way, let's go, Brandon. We appreciate you stopping by, buddy, and dropping that comment. But if you guys are not already subscribed to this man's channel, make sure you guys go ahead and get on over there. All the links are going to be down in the description below. That being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this show, share it with your friends, share it with your grandma, share it over fucking Christmas dinner, and fuck off.
Smell you later.